Hi, my name is Chris Pappillion. For those who don't know me, I'm ranked top 10 in the country in the multiply division, and I'm currently ranked number 1 in the single ply division at 242. In my life, I've won several world titles, several national titles, and 2 Mr. Olympia pro powerlifting meets thus far. I remember being a part of Texas high school and walking in these same meets that you are today. You know, I'm proud of everybody who has made it to this point, because I remember what it was like trying to make it to that point as a kid. I remember falling in love with the sport of weightlifting at the age of 12. I remember being a little boy telling myself I was going to be Mr. Olympia one day. My favorite bodybuilder was Dorian Yates. You know, a person who came from a troubled childhood. A person who came from troubles and made something of himself in weightlifting. You know, a little bit about Texas history and what you're about to represent is there was a man by the name of Anthony Clark who walked in this building in 1985 and became the first teenager in Texas history to put up a 500-pound bench press. Anthony Clark came from a troubled home. Weightlifting was Anthony Clark's escape from the world. He used this sport as something to aid him from what he was going through in his life, and he happened to become a legend at it. This meet that you're about to enter has had many names. Ian Bell in 2010 reset the whole 198-pound class. I remember being in the 198-pound class telling myself that 705-pound deadlift at 198 as a teenager would never be broken. Ian Bell was probably 7 years old at this time. Ian Bell walked in that building in 2010 and said that record's not standing another day. Mark Henry became the first kid to total 2,000 at this meet, taking strength to a new level, going on to become a professional wrestler and still one of the few men to raw deadlift over 900 pounds. There's been a lot of names. I remember Tony Archibald in 1998, whenever he put up a 420-pound bench at 198, setting the all-time state record in that class. Yet the next year, he challenged Anthony Clark's, the oldest record in Texas history at that time, 500-pound bench. And Tony came up short of 520 on his third attempt, tying Anthony's record. I didn't know that over a decade later, I would coach Preston Turner, a high school kid that would destroy every record in that class but the deadlift, with an amazing total of 1,860 pounds. A lot of legends have walked in this room. Wiley Webster, still at 220, has the highest deadlift in state history, 725 pounds, 1,750 pound total. That record still stands today. You know, it's kind of crazy when it's time for you to face your dream and everything that you ever wanted in your life is about to become a reality. Well, in just a few short hours, that becomes a reality for you, because you have to walk in a building and you have to perform and you have to try to attain something that you've wanted all year. All I can tell you is just know what you represent when you walk in this building. Know how many people have been to this point before you and paved the way for you to get here. There's been a lot of legends in Texas history, a lot of people that I look up to, a lot of people that have made this sport what it is today, and you represent every one of those people when you walk in this building. You know, sometimes people ask me, Chris, what do you think about when you lift? What do you think about when you take the platform? And I always tell them there's this one vision I have. It's my mother walking up to my grandmother's coffin at her funeral. I remember my mother being in tears all down her face. I told myself I was not going to cry at my grandmother's funeral. I was going to be strong. But when I saw my mother's face at that funeral, I just broke down. I couldn't take it. I cried just like my mother cried. At that moment, my mother, the person I love more than anything in the world, the person that raised me since I was a kid, had one dream. That one dream was to hug her mother again, to have a conversation with her, or just to hold her again. My mother at that moment could not reach her dream. There was nothing she could do. There was nothing she could do to bring my grandmother back at that point. I think about that every time I step on the platform, every time that I want to quit, every time that I want to walk out the weight room 5 minutes after I get there. And that's why I don't give up. Today I want you to think about the people that love you, the people that care about you, the people that want to see you succeed. Because it's not about you, it's about everybody. It's about your city, it's about your family, and it's about everybody that supported you to get here. There's several things I want you to do today when you walk in this building. One is say to yourself, I will have faith in my ability that God has given me, and I will not let somebody take that from me. Two is when I walk in this room, I will chase my dream with reckless abandon, and I will fight for everything that I wanted at that moment. And three, I will not let my opponent defeat me before the whistle blows. Y'all go chase y'all's dream.